It's been a minute, but we are back with another video. So let's get it over with and we'll roll the intro. We are back, but this time, no behind the scenes. We're getting this over and done with. I have been asked so many times about the Sigma 30mm f1.4 DC DN lens. Man, that is a mouthful. So let's just get this out in the open. I've been shooting with this lens for probably 3 or 4 months, and I have been asked so much about my opinion on this lens. And you know what? I should probably have one since I've been using it for a while. This lens I have used religiously for the past few months. I've just recently moved into the 50mm. I do love the 30mm on an APS-C sensor just because it gives me that 50mm feel with the crop sensor factor. A few years ago I used to shoot with the 50mm f1.2 Canon on a full frame body, so I'm really used to that 50mm feel. So that's why I went with the 30mm on the Sony A6000. I still use that. Great camera. It is a good lens, but it depends what you're using it for. I'm not a big video person. I know more videographers than I know photographers, ironically, but I've tried to shoot with this lens, just doing some of the videos, and the autofocus when you're using it with video is absolutely terrible. This thing focus creeps like no tomorrow. So if you're doing this for video or you're shooting manual focus, awesome lens. If you're using this for video and you're not shooting manual focus and you're relying on that autofocus motor, it is going to let you down so much. It is unbelievable. I'll see if I can find some footage where I have it creeping and you can take a look at that. But I mainly use this for photography. And I use it in studio, out of studio. I've shot cars with it. I've shot people with it. I have shot, I used this one when I went on a photo project in another province, and I just needed a run and gun lens that was small enough where I could hide it inside my jacket, pull out, shoot. It was a crazy story, but it did not let me down. The autofocus, it didn't let me down either when I was shooting stills. So all around, I think this is an amazing lens, but the price is a little bit high for me. I got the box. The price, I got this one on here anyways. It's $4.49 Canadian, whatever that is in US denominations. Is it worth it for that price? I don't know. I've heard good things about the Sony, I think it's a 35. They might have a 30, but I've heard good things about that. I don't know the price. But I've also heard for video that it is amazing. So you get the good autofocus there. But for this one, for $4.49, I don't personally think it's all that worth it. I picked it up used though. So if you can get this used, and you can get this used for like 300 bucks Canadian, I think this is definitely worth it. Or if you're just looking, if you're a Sigma fan and you want this lens, you know, and you got $4.49 or whatever it is in American to burn, maybe it's the lens for you. I would look for this lens used. That's my opinion on that. For you pixel peepers, I am not a big pixel peeper myself. Most things are shot for Instagram anyway, so the quality is just destroyed. I'm going to include some raw files for you guys to take a look. You can pixel peep till your heart's content. I don't see a lot of distortion on this. Vignetting, I mean, I'm not a very technical person when it comes to my gear. I'm not anything crazy. I mainly shoot with 1 or 2 lenses, and that's pretty much been my career. I keep 2 focal lengths. So for me, this lens works not being a pixel peeper. If you want a pixel peeper, maybe I would check out a different review. I'm not going to pixel peep. But all the videos that you can see on my channel, I have shot with this lens. The video itself has not been shot with it, but all the stills within the video have been shot with this lens. Build quality for this lens, I compare it to kind of that 50mm 1.4 for Canon. It's built a lot better. It does have the metal element on the back, which I believe the Canon does too. It's a pretty solid lens. It's heavier than what it looks, in my opinion. If I'm trying to remember correctly, it feels heavier than the Canon 50mm 1.4. But overall, this is a great lens. Of course, comes with a hood, you know, Sigma how they do. I have, besides the autofocus with video, I have no complaints. So it's kind of all over the place, this review, but I would recommend this lens if you can pick it up used, and if you can pick it up used for a good price. $449, you're going to have to work and figure out for yourself whether that's worth it. To me, I'm sure there might be something better out there that you could get that video aspect for. For stills though, works great, works amazing. I'm going to be shooting with this next week. I'll be shooting with this a whole bunch. I shoot portraits with this all the time. I like that up close feeling as opposed to like a telephoto. Right now this is being shot with the 50mm for Sony, the crop sensor version. But overall, I do enjoy this lens. That's why I use it more than I use my 50. I use this lens more than any other lens that I own. And you know, when you are shooting at that f1.4 aperture, it's still a little soft, but it is perfect for me considering a lot of the stuff just ends up on Instagram anyways. With that being said, download the raw files, take a look for yourself, see what you think, pixel peep, go crazy. You can even run some edits on them, I don't care. Then you can really get a good feel for this. I would recommend though, if you want to see distortion or anything like that, pop the raw file into Lightroom. I recommend this lens if you can get it used, or well, in very good condition used anyways, for that $300 Canadian, because like I said, $449 probably not worth it for me, but might be worth it for you if you got money to burn. Since I'm a budget ballin' photographer, pick this up used. You won't regret it unless you're using it for video. Then you absolutely will regret it. Cool.